Welcome to CFC Fan TV. I am so gutted after last night. It feels like the writing is on the wall regarding Antonio Conte. I just feel so depressed about it, and I think it's such a shame that we have got such a wonderful manager at the helm and the timing is so unfortunate. We've got the best manager that we've had for years, and the timing is that we've got him just at the same time as the board are demonstrating a lack of ambition. I'm now going to talk you through the 5 reasons why I hope we keep Antonio Conte. I think I'm fighting the tide here, but fingers crossed. Point 1, the board haven't supported him. Antonio Conte arrived at Chelsea Football Club when it was in turmoil, and he turned it around, and we went on to have an incredible season, accruing 95 points and winning 30 out of 38 games. That is an exceptional record. He is an incredible manager, and the way that he galvanised that group of players deserves recognition. He deserves time. If anybody has earned a little bit of respect, a little bit of grace from this board, it is Antonio Conte. I think what he did when he came in at the beginning of last season was unreal. I remember playing West Ham the first day of the season. I remember the display of the Italian flag in the Matthew Harding upper, and the way that he reacted when Diego Costa scored in the last minute will live with me forever. I think that we need to back him. The board need to give him time, and like I've pointed out already, he has earned that grace. The club are obsessed with resale value of these younger players and bringing players in who will hopefully at some point turn a profit. That doesn't need to be the case. That doesn't help Antonio Conte in his quest for excellence. It doesn't help the club in their quest for trophies. The board really haven't backed him, and if anybody's earned that backing with what he achieved last year, it's Antonio. Point 2, when Roman Abramovich was chopping and changing managers previously, you had a real luxury. You know, it's one thing chopping and changing managers when you have the previous group of players that we had. It's a very different thing doing it now. If you want to change the manager when you have John Terry, Frank Lampard, Ashley Cole, Didier Drogba, Michael Ballack, Petr Cech at the club, you can do that because that group of players are winners and they will strive for excellence and they will demand victory from themselves and from each other. This team doesn't have that group mentality. It doesn't have that surge and desire for victory. It's quite a flat group of players, and therefore the manager is so significant. We've had groups of players who have got to finals almost in spite of who's in charge. When we went to Moscow, I remember flying out to Moscow with Avram Grant in charge. We did that in spite of him, not because of him. This group of players won the league last year because of Antonio Conte's input, and this group of players now just does not have that sheer will for victory that previous squads have had. Who's going to lead this team? Gary Cahill? That made me laugh. Point 3, he's got the best win percentage in Premier League history. He's won 70% of his games. And you're going to sack him, yeah? Point 4 is Antonio Conte's bond with the club and with the fans. I keep thinking back to his first day at Chelsea, and I saw an image of him standing in front of the West Stand looking up at Peter Osgood. I think that it's incredible that on his first day at Chelsea, he wanted to learn about the history of the club, to learn about the legends of the club, and he had his photo taken looking up, standing looking up, not even alongside, looking up and admiring the great Peter Osgood. That's the type of thing that we do. Our manager is demonstrating the same sort of affinity with the club that we have. And to let someone go who gets it and tries to understand the fibre and the DNA of the club because of a few bad results is mental. We really do need to keep hold of him. I don't know if I've seen the club support react to a manager and unilaterally and as in such a partisan way support the manager the way that they have Antonio Conte. We have been nothing but loyal to him. He's been nothing but loyal to us, and I think that we sing his name in unison more so than we do any other song, which is very rare for Chelsea. You know, Chelsea generally support the club firstly, then the players, and then the manager. I think that we sing Antonio more than we sing anything else at the moment, and that is really telling. And we really do need to keep him there. I think that he gets it. I think he understands us, and I think he wants to understand us more and be part of it. And equally, I think the love that is on display from Chelsea supporters, the majority at least of Chelsea supporters, at every single game. Even last night when we're getting smashed by Watford, the away section is still singing for Antonio Conte. We can't write that off. It's so valuable, and it really does need to be preserved. I hope the board understand how valuable that is. Point 5 is there's no point in sacking him because history will just repeat itself again. We'll be back here having this conversation again in 2 years. What's the point? You sack Conte, you bring in Luis Enrique, you might have a good 18 months, then you're back here, and then what? Then we're having this conversation again. Antonio Conte is the man who needs to be given time. At some point, somebody is going to have to be believed in, and somebody's going to have to be back to the hilt in the transfer market, and somebody's going to have to get a vote of confidence from Abramovich that means something. That man is Antonio Conte. There is no point in getting rid of him. Where does this end? So I really hope the club listen. They haven't backed him. They haven't done what he needed. You know, he won the league last year with a group of, it was a pretty average squad. He turned them into champions, winning 30 of 38 games, accruing a ridiculous amount of points. That man needs to be invested in. He wasn't backed in the transfer market. We had a very, very shoddy transfer market. You know, we got rid of Nemanja Matic, we brought in Bakayoko. We got rid of Diego Costa, we brought in Alvaro Morata. It's not good enough. Of course we're going to struggle when we do that. So we're going to have to back someone at some point. Somebody's going to have to be believed in. That man is Antonio Conte. So let's do it now. Let's come out, let's demonstrate quite how much we support him, quite how much we believe in him, and the next time the transfer window opens in the summer, prove it. I feel like I may be shouting in the dark here because sadly, I think the writing's on the wall, but got to be optimistic. Fingers crossed they'll keep him in charge. And if not, I don't quite know how this is going to end because we have a very, very tough February ahead. We're going to be going to Barcelona and we could be out of it already. We'll have a few beers on the Ramblas, I guess. See you out there.